Hello, welcome to Module 4 of English 102. So this is our halfway point through the course. And each week we have been building on our literary analysis skills. So we will continue to do that this week. We have 3 short selections to read, each of them very different from each other. But this is a week where I feel like students enjoy the different selections because they are so unique to each other. We have Edgar Allan Poe, Ernest Hemingway, and Eudora Welty, which are all completely unique and diverse writers, and offering some different styles to look at, and that's in fact one of the objectives that for this week. So let's look at the different resources that you have. Again, our focus this week or this for this module for module 4, we have style, tone, and mood, which kind of gives that feel of the piece. And each of these writers do that very well. In particular, you may be familiar with Edgar Allan Poe and his style of writing, and you may even be familiar with the piece that we are looking at. The Telltale Heart. So there is a definite feel to his piece. If you're not familiar with Hemingway, and then specifically Hills Like White Elephants, this is one that you're going to want to read several times because I guarantee you will pick up little nuances and little things that the author uses to create what is happening in that very short scene that he has set up for us as readers. And then Why I Live at the PO is kind of a nice break from some of the heavier things that are happening in Telltale Heart or Hills Like White Elephants. So I like these pieces together because you do have that those different feelings that are coming from each of those, particularly because of the style that these authors are writing in. So with halfway through this term, we do have a midterm exam. It is 100 points. It is graded and you have 75 minutes to take that. This covers the readings from modules 3 and 4. But you want to make sure that you have read all of those preparatory resources in all 4 of the modules. So once you have that completed, you also have, this week we have a response paper. So one thing you're going to want to make sure that you do before you even tackle this module 4 response paper is look back to module 2 response paper and the feedback that I gave you. Pay particular attention to any feedback regarding MLA formatting. If that's something that you struggled with and you have those comments on your paper, either the basic formatting is not there or the in-text citation or the works cited page, because those are things that you want to firm up now that you understand those and have made those corrections before you get further into the course and we get to the Module 7 research essay. Because we've worked on these for several modules in a row, the expectation is that you have learned and grown and have went back and corrected some of those mistakes that you may have made in some of the earlier modules so that you are ready as we keep moving forward. And then also if you have any if there are any comments about grammar or punctuation, or maybe your thesis was off topic or any of those types of things. So make sure that you're reading the feedback, not only from that, but from all the other assignments as well. But the idea is that you keep improving on anything that either you made mistakes on or just, any kind of growth feedback that you may have received. You have 3 different options to choose from. Pay particular attention to what these options are looking for. Option 1 or 2 are only focusing in on the stories that we have read from module 3 or 4. You do have an option to go back to some of those other ones. from all the way from the beginning of modules 1 through 4, making sure that it's not the same one that you've already written about and received feedback on. So you want to write about something different so you receive feedback on that. If you are using the option 3 and you are going to write about literary theory, make sure that you're using the resource from module 3. And there are a certain number and a specific literary theories that we are focusing in on. There are many more that we are not, but students are being asked to only use those theories because that's kind of the conversation that we're having in this class are about those theories. Of course, this is an MLA formatting. Since you are using the texts that are in the class, you're using that version, so that's what's going to be included, the version that's included in the document within the class. And it's not just, this is a class document. It is, the author would be Edgar Allan Poe, the title would be Telltale Heart, and the publisher that's included in the document that's shared here. So make sure that you're using that. You always want to have a direct quote and a paraphrase that is supporting what you were trying to claim in your writing. That's that text evidence that we're going to be looking for. This is around 500 words, so that's, about 2 pages or so. And again, this is either going to be Microsoft Word or Google Doc. It has to be in that .doc or .docx. Making sure you're following the standard essay format. And remember, back in module 2, there is a document that goes through that. So if that's something you receive feedback on and you want to go back and look and make sure that you're including all of those elements in writing about literature in that response document. And of course, making sure that you're checking, any kind of mechanical or grammatical errors. And of course, I cannot accept an essay that has been written through AI generated text. Believe me, it is painfully obvious when a student has done that. So please don't do that. Save yourself some stress and myself some stress, and use your own words and use your own thoughts and ideas. You are capable of much more than you think you are. All right, so if you have any questions about this module, please reach out. I am happy to help.